Ooh, what's up, tribe? Thank you for being here and welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing another post from Matias de Stefano's blog, yosoy.red. This blog is titled I Am Mind, and it's a dialogue between him and his higher self. I'll be referring to Matias as me and to his higher self as I am. So, me, the first law of the universe is that everything is mind, that is, everything that exists is only a mental perception. But then, what is the mind? I am, well, humans consider that the mind is the ability to think. It is the cognitive act, and they separate it from the heart as if it were something opposite to it. And this creates a false image of what mind is. The mind contains within itself the act of thinking, developing an idea, or establishing cognitive practice. But it doesn't just adjust to these issues. The mind is broad and represents the information pulses which are throughout the body. Think biologically. Why does the heart beat? Why do the kidneys work? Why do you breathe? Why are your testicles activated? Me, by nervous pulses, by parasympathetic action of the nervous system. I am. The central nervous system is based on the brain, yes, but it incorporates within itself cerebellum, the medulla, and all the nerves of the body that are extensive neurons that branch out like the roots of a tree to every corner of your body. The electrical pulses of your nerves are information processed by your neurons. The highest percentage of mental activity is not cognitive, it is sensory, and it is in your whole body, not in your head. Your heart works by the electrical pulses of the mind, of the neurons. The emotions you feel come from the chemical reactions produced by the glands that are managed by the pituitary in the center of your brain. Thus, everything you perceive in your skin, the heat, the cold, everything you see with your eyes, be it the colors, the depth, the air you breathe through your lungs, digestion, the five senses by which you perceive the reality that surrounds you, all this is a mere electromagnetic perception of the nervous system. Thus, it is your brain that feels, that acts, that thinks, that loves, that creates, projects and assimilates. But even more, it is the data that flows in the neurons, since they are only tools that process data. The neurons are cables through which the electricity passes, which contains the data, the internet. The information connects everything beyond you in your body, and the nervous system is in charge of processing and storing it, giving it the character of feeling, emotion, sensation, action, mechanism, thought, or whatever is necessary. Me. So all that we perceive is not outside, but in the mind. But how can it be explained then that others can see or feel like me, or even see the same thing as me? If it is just a perception of the mind, then we should all see different things. I am, and isn't it? Me, well, obviously there are perspectives and nuances We don't always see exactly the same thing, but if I point to a table in front of me, 99.9 of humans will see it and will be able to describe practically the same thing I see, with nuances, but they will see. I am. And why do you think that happens? Me. Well, because there has to be something in common, in reality, that constitutes a fact or object in such a way that we can perceive it in the same way. I am. Think a little bigger. Is the table the common denominator, or is it the mind? Here, Matias says, I eat, and this is translated from Spanish. And so I'm thinking it's a typo, because in Spanish it's como, and I think that means how so. But anyway, so I am says, do you know the sunflower plant? Me, yes, of course. It's that huge flower that contains hundreds of seeds inside it, and it rotates looking at the sun, following its course through the sky. I am. Do you think it was always this big? Me, surely not. Surely it has undergone genetic modifications after its use in the last 4,000 years. I am. A sunflower used to have no more than 4 seeds, and today it can produce hundreds of seeds in a single flower. That is, hundreds of new sunflowers are going to come out of it, and some may vary, have even more seeds, more potentials, or grow taller, or have some variations that alters the product, for better or for worse, but there is something that will not change. They will all turn looking at the sun as it travels through the sky. Me, you mean that despite the differences, we all see the same thing? I am. A sunflower plantation can have thousands and thousands of plants, each one with its flower, full of new potential plants that generate thousands and millions of new flowers and new crops, and still they are planted where they are sown in the world. They will all look at the sun. They will know inside that they must grow, how to grow, and how to follow the light. This is the collective mind. Humans believe that each one is unique and separate from the other, but the truth is that everyone, absolutely everyone, comes from a very few seeds, maybe 2, maybe 4, maybe 8, but very few. And the almost 8 billion that you are today, at some point, were only 3 brothers and sisters who had children and created families, tribes, societies, civilizations, empires, nations, republics. And today, it gives you the feeling of being so different, one from the other, that you think you are separated, but no. You are a sunflower in the middle of a plantation of 8 billion, all looking at the same sun. The mind is a strange and capricious reality constituted by electromagnetic pulses that united the protons and the electrons in the first instance, and some of them housed neutrons inside. These positive-negative neutral charges established a communication pattern that records data, creating a code to follow for interpreting the medium. Thus, atoms, molecules, chromosomes, cells, organs, bodies, all are nothing more than interpretation on interpretation of electromagnetic pulses and resonance waves, which give rise to what you call five senses: touch, sight, smell, hearing, and taste, all born out of the need to survive. And the most subtle senses, those that help you perceive these waves, where data and memories move, where the interconnectivity between everything lies. Your body is only a biological result born of the need to interpret those pulses. You are the processor of the only thing that exists, the mind. Therefore, you have the appearance of separation, but you are all the same, one body. Me. Therefore, I cannot speak of individual mind, true? I am. Are you wondering about the famous free will? Me. Yes. Does it exist? I am. Oh, of course not. I am. Oh, of course not. Free will is a folkloric and romantic creation of the sense of freedom of action. But let's be clear. You can't escape your biological patterns and family heritages in the same way that you can't jump out the window and fly like a bird. All your emotional thought and philosophical construction, everything is conditioned by these pulses that reach your microscopic spectrum. You cannot decide anything freely, for you are just a drop in the ocean. Me. So I don't understand. What do I do? Why do what you do? I am. Good question. See, the universe contains everything in itself, in the same way that mind contains everything that you perceive in itself. Therefore, the equation is easy. Mind equals universe. That said, we can understand that the universe moves by two forces, positive and negative, which in the mind is equal to logic and illogical. The universe is ordered in triune aspects: wide, high, and deep for space, and past, present, and future for the vision of time. In mind, we call this subconscious, unconscious, and conscious. If the universe is like the mind and everything is in it, and you are a simple drop inside it, then we can interpret that mind, universe, equals ocean. The ocean is the subconscious, where everything lies. Without judgment, water, animals, and plants, everything lives there, encompasses everything, surrounds the continents, contains life inside. There are ocean currents, one warm and the other cold, which move the waters, creating storms, generating energy, wind, humidity, helping in migrations. We call these currents that drag us unconscious, the force that drives us through the uncontrollable oceanic subconscious and inside some minimal unicellular organism which managed to enclose a drop of water in a salty mineral membranes, storing information carried by currents. That organism or cellular drop is the conscious. Small, right? Me, too much. I am, but powerful. Well, by itself, it can take the heat from the sun, warm itself, and start a chain reaction that changes the polarity of others until it generates heat and changes the ocean current. He can in turn unite by resonance with others like him, create a complex organism. evolve, seek to use the force of the unconscious at his mercy, and swim. Me, I swim, I am. To have the appearance of freedom, the famous free will, is to become aware of yourself. Discover the potential of your drop of water. Create necessary tools to awaken the inner force. And instead of letting yourself go with the flow, use it to your benefit. Now you can move through the ocean in the direction you feel. But you will still be in the ocean, being a krill, fish, or a whale. Me. And what about the one that evolved by going to the coasts, becoming a reptile or a mammal, walking the continents, even deserts? I am. Ah, very well. They have achieved something impressive. They became the ocean because they carry it inside. In its inland waters lies the memory of the entire ocean. They're not free from it. They became it, transcending a new mental ocean, the atmosphere. Me. Now I depend on another type of ocean? I am. Exactly. Until you get out of the atmosphere and navigate through space. And then space will be your new ocean. Until you come to the surface of time. And one day you'll want to leave the ocean of time to enter a new one in another dimension. And then to another universe. And one day you will close your eyes and you will see that the imagination was the only infinite ocean capable of housing all the others. And by that time, you will know that everything that always existed was mind. Me. And knowing this, what use is it to me? I am. You have asked the question. Tell me, what do you think it's useful for? Perhaps you should now rephrase it. Me. If everything that exists is a part of the mind that we make up together, then no matter how aware we are of our environment, we will always seek to transcend it and find another. Perhaps what we are doing wrong is trying to escape from the ocean. Basically, what we are doing right now is like going on vacation to the beach and being afraid of the sea. I am, exactly. You must transcend the fear of the eternal, of the circuit, and go above all this. Recognize that everything is imagination. The ocean of the great imaginative mind that creates with its thoughts, with its pulses. But you can modify all that thought because you are a cell, a drop that became conscious. But he still believes that to be conscious, you have to leave unconsciousness or eradicate it from the equation. It is as if the body says, now that I know the spirit, I no longer need the soul as a bridge. Ridiculous. The subconscious and the unconscious are the means and the tools of the conscious. The drop cannot eliminate the current or the ocean. It can evaporate, yes, fly and go to a cloud, and then be snow and ice, stream, river, lake, and wetland. But inevitably, it will one day return to the sea, and it will be the ocean again. You cannot escape the circuit because there is nothing but the circuit. Those who feel trapped in it are the ones who focus only on the fact that they're being carried away by the current. Those who cannot control their lives, who do not know how to use the medium they have created, who do not allow themselves to imagine and are only conditioned by the imagination of others. Me. So if the path is me, if I am my own story, my own destiny, I am my own purpose, my own love, if I am my own belief, my own projection and truth, it means that all that I am is just an idea conditioned by one mind, and that if I become the conscious aspect of that mind, I can use the cycle itself to create a different one. I am. Free will lies only in the awareness that I am conditioned by everything, to the point that I myself am my own condition, because believing myself trapped, I create the trap, and believing myself free, I create the search for constant freedom. The key to mind is, don't believe in anything. Just be the mind. Imagine endless possibilities without judgment, and dare to be yourself, all of it. Me. Welcome to life. Believe everything, but do not believe anything. That was what an angel told me at the time I was about to incarnate in this life. I remember her sweet face smiling and pronouncing those words. Now I understand. I am. They only had to spend 33 years and a week of inner work with me. It actually does say, that's not just me laughing. Me. The key is in the imagination. Imagination will set you free, because there we are everything. Limitations are not a prison. They are tools for the imagination. I am. And this is how you expand. This is how you free yourself. And this is when you realize that. Me. I am. Me. I am. Mind. Me. I am the mind.